So, hey guys, today we're talking with Stephanie McKeith from Theta Living, and she has a passion for health and fitness and is a fellow cancer preventer. And we're going to talk about rebounding today because we're talking about exercise. So, thank you very much for joining us today, Stephanie. And I just wanted to start with if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you follow this path for healthy living.
Yeah, so my story goes, actually up until my dad was diagnosed with cancer, I'd always put forth what I thought was a healthy way of living. So when the oncologist told us my dad had cancer and they told us that his only options were surgery, chemo, radiation, it didn't settle well with me because I kind of knew that there had to be more options than that. Putting those types of substances into a body that was already compromised and not fully functioning the way it was supposed to just didn't make sense. So we just weren't sure what to do at that point. So with not having enough of the right information, my dad just dove into conventional therapies, and he did the chemo, he did the radiation, he did partial surgeries that he qualified for. But during that time, we were learning, we were researching, we were implementing integrative therapies that really boosted his quality of life. He did great. He felt really good. We had really good time with him. We did lose him though. There was a combination from the chemo and the radiation that created a secondary type of cancer that had just become too aggressive, and it was too much for the integrative therapies that we were using to be able to do anything about. So after that, I took a deep breath and thought, we learned so much, but there's still so much more. Here's the rest of us still here, still needing health, and we don't want to go through that again. So we found so many truths and opened so many new doors to what healthy, holistic nutrition really is, and what proper exercise regimens really are, and what vitamins and supplements really do for you. All the stuff that the doctors don't tell you, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So losing him fueled that for us. Mm-hmm. So it was more of gaining more information and sharing it as we went along kind of thing to attract even more knowledge. It was just very eye-opening to understand that everything that we had been taught and fed and told was health really wasn't. Even down to the testing. A lot of the testing, it's in itself causes cancer. Mm-hmm. And that's not discussed, it's not taught, and it's a very in-depth part of, it weighs heavily on preventing cancer. So those are some of the things that we like to learn more about and just incorporate into our daily living, really. And what I found for me anyways, this constant research is addicting. You can't, I could get lost in it day and night. And there's so many amazing healers in this world. It's been a pleasure to learn with them and by them, and it really is never ending. Mm-hmm. So it is. There's amazing people on this earth doing amazing things, and it's so important to know who they are and where they are and connect with them so that our community keeps getting stronger and more connected. So you can feel that vibe and know where to go if you have a question and who to trust and what to do. So I'm just as dedicated today in finding all of the preventative measures and everything that you can put into your daily lifestyle that leads to a preventative lifestyle. And I do a lot of cancer prevention, but when you say cancer prevention, you and I talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
If you haven't been personally affected by it, are you really going to participate in a cancer prevention course? Some yes, some no. But cancer prevention really is a healthy lifestyle. It's Alzheimer's prevention. It's diabetes prevention. It's obesity prevention. It's an anti-cancer diet or lifestyle is a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we bring light on that, and also in guiding someone who has already been diagnosed with cancer, guiding them to the resources that can help them heal holistically with non-toxic therapies. And these healers are all over the world, and we have those connections available. It's saves a lot of time. It took me years and years and years and years.
Me too.
Yeah, just researching and digging and sorting and figuring out what's worked and what doesn't, and where to go and who to talk to. And so it's been a blessing to come to this. Never did I thought. I went to school for physical therapy. This is not where I thought I was going, but I'm here.
Our paths change, right?
Yeah, they do.
Life happens. So we're going to talk about one thing that you teach, actually, which is rebounding. So can you tell us a little bit about rebounding and who is it for?
Yeah, so rebounding, actually, if you don't know what rebounding is, those little mini trampolines is a rebounder. They're called rebounders. Even kids, they have the big trampolines out in the backyard, and it's fun and it's exciting, and they bounce in their beds when they're little. It's rebounding, bouncing up and down on a little trampoline is a natural instinct. So who's it for? It's literally for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody that couldn't benefit from rebounding. If you're alive, it's pretty much rebounding is for you.
Well, that's really good news.
It is, yeah. So if you think of when a baby is upset or needs to be calmed, and what's the first thing, well, a mother's natural instinct, but pretty much the human instinct is when you get that baby, you want to bounce them up and down, pat their little butt, and try to make them feel better. Yeah. Well, it's that gentle bounce up and down that calms their central nervous system and allows the lymph fluid to circulate to make them feel better. It's the calming sense they get from that. Mm-hmm. So on a rebounder, you perform these gentle up and down movements. You shift from one foot to another, and it's actually the most effective way to calm down your entire nervous system. So you can be as easy as a simple health bounce, never even letting your feet leave the mat, or you can be as intense as you want, creating a cardiovascular type of a workout. That's why it's literally for everybody. Babies, seniors, athletes. It's really good for like a physical therapy pickup kind of a program. Once you finish that, whatever your duration with physical therapy is, then what kind of exercise do you go into? What do you do? How do you keep going? And what I like about it is it's fun. So rebounding is even for people who don't like to exercise. I mean, there's plenty of people like that.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So we know it's great for the lymphatic system, like you were saying. So, and what are some of the other health benefits people get from doing this?
So rebounding is a cellular exercise. So like you said, it's moving the lymphatic system. Typical exercises tend to concentrate on specific muscles and specific muscle groups. And rebounding actually impacts every single cell in your body. We have over 100 trillion of them. Mm-hmm. So you've got your muscles, your organs, your skin, your tissues, your eyeballs. Working on the rebounder exercises your eyeballs. So yes, it actually has been noted to improve vision.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So rebounding uses a combination of acceleration, deceleration, and gravity, otherwise known as the G-force. and it forces your cells to squeeze out toxins as you're jumping up and down on the rebounder. So as you're squeezing out toxins and then you come back down, it allows the nutrients and oxygen to be accepted by the cells to promote your immune system, and just an all-around health benefit. So the difference between our blood and our lymph, because those are the fluids that we carry in our body, is our blood has a heart to pump it. The lymph system doesn't have a pump. The only way to get the lymph fluid moving is by contraction of the muscles. So when you're contracting every single cell of every single muscle, your entire lymph system is being massaged at the same time, creating the uptake of nutrients and oxygen into the cells, at the same time releasing all of the toxins out of the cells.
Okay. So for optimal health, how often should someone be doing rebounding?
So there's all different kind of ways you can go at it. For someone who is looking to just introduce themselves into it, because it can cause somewhat of a detoxification effect in the very beginning. Most of us too, if we're just starting out into some type of an exercise regimen, we're probably going to have some toxins built up in there. Mm-hmm. So we usually start with 10 minutes once a day, just with a health bounce, a gentle health bounce, going in an up and down motion, moving the arms around so you can get the circulation moving around your chest area, and you build yourself up. So you can start at 10 minutes a day. You can do segments, 3 or 4 segments of 10 minutes a day. You can do, once you build yourself up, you can work up to 30 or 40 minutes a day. Personally, for where I'm at, I do 20 to 30 minutes. And that's the core, that's the bulk of my exercise. Now, for somebody who may be coming down with a cold or is working at reversing cancer, the most effective way to rebound is to actually do it once an hour for 2 to 3 minutes. And the reason we suggest that is because it triples your white blood cells in those 2 minutes, and they stay elevated for the next hour, which is pretty cool. That's a nice benefit.
I wish I had known about this when I was going through my treatments, because my white counts were always low. So, and I missed a lot of things because of that. So this is amazing. Like, it's just mind blowing how much this can benefit your health by doing something so simple.
Yeah, and just to piggyback, I want to touch on that too, is 2/3 of our white blood cells are actually found in our lymph fluid. So when you can get that lymph fluid moving, you eliminate waste, toxins, parasites, fungus, bad bacteria, all that junk that becomes stagnant in our system from not moving. When you can move, sorry. When you can move your lymph system, you can really do wonders for your immunity.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't have a rebounder, what else can they do that is similar to having a rebounder?
So that's a tough question, because the rebounder actually takes the impact off of your joints, off of that type of a movement, so you don't have that shock affecting your joints and hindering any type of mobility that you might have, or mobility issues. So what I could say is, if you don't have a rebounder, to get a mat, like a thick yoga mat, fold it as many times as you can so you have more of a cushioned type area, and just bounce. Just move up and down. Make sure you're moving your arms above your head. You're moving them in circular motions, just to stimulate the muscles, to massage your lymphatic system. Okay. But to try to replace the rebounder, that's tough.
It's tough. Yeah, because if you're just doing like jumping up and down, or if you're doing jumping jacks, then you're putting a lot of pressure on your joints.
You are, and you're not getting the the G force. You're not getting you're not working with gravity. So there's a big difference there.
Okay. And so in your business, we mentioned you actually offer rebounding classes. Is this something that people can find easily, or how does that work?
So I have a rebounding studio, actually. We're one of a kind, and we have an entire studio just filled with rebounders. And I do an initial assessment with everyone that comes in because everybody's different. So to know where someone needs to start off and what kind of a plan they need to go on is very important. So as opposed to maybe some other types of studios or gyms, I don't have just typical rebounding classes. I set everybody up on their individual program so that they have a set duration of time so they can really experience what the benefits are going to be. They can be committed to an exercise program, and they have the accountability of the responsibility and the accountability of actually coming into the studio for a set schedule every week for 5 or 6 weeks, so they can see what the benefits are at the end of that time frame.
Okay. And what's the name of your studio that they can find you? You're in Michigan, right?
Yeah, so I'm in Michigan. We're Southeast Michigan, and my studio is called Riverview Health and Fitness.
Okay, awesome. Is there anything else that you wanted to let people know about rebounding?
So it's probably one of the most important things you could implement into your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Regardless of where you are in life, it's something you can start out as a baby. You can put a baby on a rebounder, and you can do it as long as you can move, you can rebound. So it's something very sustainable and attainable. It's not, you're not limited. It's not something that only a certain fitness level can participate with. Mm-hmm. It's something that anybody can incorporate, and it can be your standalone fitness regimen, or it can be a complement to anything else. So even for an athlete, it's something that can complement their training programs or whatever type of fitness that they use.
And even a lot of the rebounders actually have like a bar across it, right? So like a handle that you can hold on to if you were worried that you weren't going to be able to maintain your balance.
Yeah. Even somebody in a wheelchair, if they can get their feet onto the rebounder and just get that gentle up and down motion, they can stimulate their lymphatic system to move and to, if possible, eventually progress to getting on top of the rebounder and then stabilizing themselves with the stabilizer bar. Okay. And you can add bands and you can add weights, and there's all different kinds. It's just, there's a lot of possibilities with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for talking with us and telling us all about rebounding. And is there a site people can go to if they want to reach you about any questions that they have?
Sure. So thetaliving.com. It's THETA living.com. And there's all kinds of information in regards to rebounding and detoxing, because rebounding is really, not only is it a exercise modality, but it's a big part of the detoxification that we all desperately need to. So any questions about rebounding or what types of rebounders or how to incorporate it, you can direct all those questions there and we can take care of you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much again.
Thanks for having me.